Hey, Beto, they don't want to let me take a picture with you, man. I just want to shake your hand. Beto, I'm Robert.
Robert, you're my tocayo.
I'm native Estonian.
Thank you for being
On
here.
behalf of the ranchers, the oil and gas, and farmers,
Yes, sir.
and Maxine Waters.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in your grill telling you don't come back.
Okay.
We don't want you here.
Thank you.
All right?
Thank you.
You said it was good. Thank you. Get the hell out. You ain't taking my guns either. You ain't taking my guns. Don't even try to get your hands off of me.
My hands are low.
Get your hands off of me. Adios.
Thank you.
How you like that? We're still here in Texas. Ain't nobody wants you here. No means no. 3 times, you lost twice. No means no.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the #1 clout / ambulance chaser in the Democrat Party, Mr. Robert Francis, a.k.a. Beto O'Rourke, who just cannot stop embarrassing himself, okay, as he is running for governor, right, after failing to win a Senate seat, okay, against Ted Cruz. He also failed to win the Democrat nomination for president. This guy is just an all-around loser politician who will not give up, despite the fact that time and time again, the people are telling him, we don't want you, right? We don't want you, okay? The people of Texas have spoken. However, this guy just won't quit because, unfortunately, we have a system in politics, guys, where people live off of this stuff, right? What job does Beto O'Rourke actually have besides fundraising, right, and trying to make a living off the idea that somehow, some way, he will finally get voted into office, okay? I'm just saying, right? I don't think you should be allowed to just be able to live freely without a real job and just, campaign all your life and never actually hold office, right? When it's clear that the people don't want you, okay? And the reason why people don't want Beto is because he's an embarrassment. If you look at some of his policies, some of the things he's advocated for, like, taking away your guns, just saying, look, hell yeah, I'm going to take away your guns, right? Exactly what he said during the Democrat debate. He also has advocated for allowing kids to undergo transgender surgeries, okay, to cut off their genitalia. He's for open borders. He's for all the far left policies that conservatives have thoroughly rejected. And to win the state of Texas, you need to win over conservatives, right? Not just Democrats. And that is why he's down in the polls versus the current governor, Greg Abbott, okay? He's down about 5 or 6 points. He's closed the gap lately because, again, he's been clout chasing, okay, ambulance chasing, taking advantage of people when it comes to the Uvalde school shooting for his own political gain. Okay, but first I want to go back over some of Beto's latest clout chasing embarrassments. If you guys remember when it came to the whole Uvalde thing, he initially spoke out on that at a press conference where Greg Abbott was essentially speaking to families and the press about what happened and, what is going on with the situation. Beto decided to interrupt because he knew that he would make national news by doing so. Take a look.
Pass the mic to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Sit down.
You're out of line and an embarrassment.
Sit down and don't play this stuff.
The next shooting is right now, and you are doing nothing.
No, he needs to get his ass out of here. This isn't the place to talk this over.
This is totally predictable when you...
Sir, you're out of line. Sir, you are out of line. Sir, you are out of line. Please leave this auditorium. I can't believe you're a sick son of a bitch that would come to a deal like this to make a political issue.
Yeah, so Democrats cheered that on, even though it was tasteless, right? It was a political stunt for clout and gain, right? On the backs of children, right? Dead bodies, okay? That's exactly what it was. Again, they cheered it on, right? As a class act, right? But we all know how the people of Texas actually really feel about Beto. I mean, look no further than the guy being chased out of his own campaign event in Rockdale, Texas, just the other week. But hey, that doesn't stop people from like Beto O'Rourke from continuing to clout chase off the backs of dead bodies, off dead kids, as he held an event, okay, another campaign event in which he was given a talk, a little speech, and he was talking about the Uvalde school mass shooting, again, advocating for gun control and spewing falsehoods about the weapons or weapon that was used during the Uvalde school shooting. And at one point, somebody in the crowd actually laughed at something that Beto was saying. And Beto spoke out. He snapped and called the guy an MFer. Okay? And again, the mainstream liberal media praised this as a class act. Take a look.
I'm going to make sure that now 11 weeks since we lost 19 kids and their 2 teachers shot to death with a weapon originally designed for use in combat, legally purchased by an 18-year-old who did not try to obtain one when he was 16 or 17, but followed the law that's on the books, ladies and gentlemen, that says that you can buy not one, you can buy 2 or more if you want to, AR-15s, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, and take that weapon that was originally designed for use on the battlefields in Vietnam to penetrate an enemy soldier's helmet at 500 feet and knock him down dead up against kids at 5 feet. It may be funny to you, motherfucker, but it's not funny to me, okay?
Now, the mainstream liberal media, right, the way they're framing that interaction from O'Rourke and I guess the Greg Abbott supporter is that the Greg Abbott supporter was laughing at Beto talking about dead kids, okay, the Uvalde mass shooting massacre. And that's not what the supporter was actually laughing at. What he was laughing at is this idea that Beto and the Democrats keep perpetuating is that the weapon that was used, right, during that mass shooting was a military weapon. Right, that is what he was laughing at. The idea that 18-year-old got access to what, again, Beto O'Rourke is trying to imply here, okay, without actually saying it, an automatic military rifle, right? That is what he's trying to imply, right? He's trying to say that the guy had a military weapon. That is what Abbott was laughing at. He was laughing at the ignorance and the lies that Beto is spewing, the falsehoods, him misleading his supporters as to the type of weapon that was actually used during this shooting. Because, again, the weapon that was used during this shooting has been modified for civilian purposes, okay? It's semi-automatic. It is not a military-style weapon. It's not a military weapon. It is a sporting rifle. It's not used for military combat. That's not the weapon they use in military combat. It is simply a rifle that is used for primarily hunting, okay? And for self-defense. That's it. That's it. And it is rarely used at all in so-called mass shootings. It is rarely used at all when it comes to homicides. But yet these guys go out here and they rail against this as if this weapon is the primary weapon of choice for homicides and mass shootings. And that's just not the case. It's just false. It's just false. So that's what that guy was laughing at. Again, was it kind of ill-timed? Yes. Okay. Not something I would have done. Even though I know that, you know, for me personally, I know exactly what he was actually laughing at. He wasn't laughing at the dead bodies. He was laughing at, again, this guy trying to politicize the dead bodies to push gun control. Something that, again, is not even what the issue is really in the Uvalde mass shooting situation. The issue with the Uvalde mass shooting situation is the failure of police, right? It's the failure of law enforcement in that situation to go in to take out the shooter, right? Which, again, if you really think about it, the Uvalde mass shooting is actually a argument for why we need the Second Amendment, why we need more citizens to be armed, because we can't rely on law enforcement to do their job, right? If a criminal gets access to a rifle or a weapon that civilians don't have access to, the law enforcement officers, if they freeze up, if they get scared, if they don't want to confront the subject for whatever reason, who's going to take them out, right? Who's going to take them out? Nobody will be there to take them out. Again, what Uvalde showed was not, this is a case for more so-called gun control, taking away everybody's sporting rifles. No, what it actually showed is that no, you actually need more citizens that are trained and armed to take on situations like this when law enforcement fails, because as we've seen, law enforcement is not always 100% trustworthy or effective at dealing with situations like this, right? But again, Beto's going out there and preaching the exact opposite. He's preaching the exact opposite. And of course, mainstream liberal media, they're going to run with it and give Beto his clout, right? Oh my God, Beto, you call this guy an MFer while he was laughing at the death of kids. Completely misrepresenting the interaction and what the guy was actually laughing at. He was laughing at Beto's ignorance and the fact that he continuously embarrasses himself every single time he opens up his mouth, okay? I've not seen a politician that is more embarrassing in my lifetime than Beto O'Rourke. Or, actually, I take that back. Kamala Harris, right? But I'm just saying, Beto is right up there, right? Beto is right up there, okay? Let me know what you guys say. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.